Yeah, I believe so. Yes, he is. 55.
I mean, have you
games played
seen
with
his
it.
camera? The guy's a speed devil, dude. You watch his
58% win
perspective
rate.
and you get dizzy.
So it's overwhelmingly a lot of heals for BetBoom right now.
Okay. This is the if you go Pango mid, I swear, but just in case against the Lesh as well. I'm a bigger fan of the Quap here, to be honest. I would have liked to see the Quap because it's better against both matchups here. But Lina does give you a potential win condition as well. And Lina is... So the thing about Quap is that even though she's good against Pango in the lane, she does struggle against Pango later in the mid game. Or she doesn't struggle, but she's weaker than Lina in the mid game. Because Lina, all she does is press BKB, hit Pango, and he dies in the Rolling Thunder, right?
Right.
And if he goes mid, that's a huge deal. So... I don't mind this. It's also more of a Toronto Tokyo hero.
Agreed. And also, I like the hero because if this is CK offlane, he's never going to build a Scotty, right? Lina mid lane certainly can build a Scotty.
Yes,
so this doesn't coerce Yadaro into building or picking a hero that has to build Scotty, right? Because of course, I'm bringing up Scotty for the heal reductions, right? Hoodwink, Bane, not really the best vessel carriers. Offlane CK Shivas is not crazy, right? Like that could be an item, but you just have to start thinking about these things, right?
I was imagining she was on CK. I mean, I agree in certain games it could be now wild, but can you imagine the initiation of CK in reality with Shivas? It's just weird.
I mean, Collapse, you especially have commended him for his builds. He does buy plate mail, right? He went AC on the hero. It's not out of the, it's not too crazy. He built.
If there's someone that does it. Yeah, look, you know what? I'd be happy to see that. Just to me, the idea of a CK building Shivas is funny inherent as a Dota player.
It is weird.
But I don't think you're wrong. I'm glad that you mentioned that because sometimes deviation for the game is important, especially for offlaners, right? That's the most. The other thing that Lina I think does well as well is that again comparing to Quap, because I think that is the most one-to-one comparison here. She D-pushes much better, right? Lightstrike Array and Lightning. Sorry, and Dragon Slave is much better than the simple Sonic or Scream of Pain because you don't Sonic Wave to D-push, right? No. So I like this pick. I think right now teams are kind of even though I like PP strategy certainly much more here. I'm curious as to what their carry is. Also, I love that TSpirit goes, the Hawk never plays something normal. Let's ban the Huskar as well, just in case. Again.
Yeah, the only normal carry pick that the Hawk does really like here would be something like an Ursa, and he has been coerced into playing plenty of Medusa games. Ursa, not terrible here, I think they've got a lot of stuns for him, which is scary, and certainly the break or just the nuke damage can be problematic, but with this amount of heals, I don't know.
It's just they didn't ban a single meta game.
Okay, they banned Necro.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of glad they banned Necro because I think BetBoom would have lost if they picked Necro again. Oh, TB. Sure.
Again, the Hawk is a versatile carry. He honestly does have a couple of good picks. I was actually thinking PL as well because it's a pretty free PL game, but you don't have last pick, so that's the difficulty. Terrorblade is much better at he is an overall better hero when you don't have last pick, and it's good for illusions, right? He's less counterable here. For carries, I'm thinking.
What's crazy is, as I said, I don't think we're going to see it, but it's not a bad Morphling game. The anti-agi carry.
It really isn't actually.
The stuns are very lacking. It's scary because Laurel does well. At least last game he went Yules, but with Faceless Void out of the pool, and Drow as well, right? Who is also the anti-agi carry. Maybe you consider PA. Maybe.
No, not against TV and Lesh. I think it's too bad. I do honestly wouldn't mind the CK carry still, right? Out of all the illusion carries, he's the only one I could see being viable here.
Okay, I respect that. And then you
run an offlaner like Viper or whatever, something strong that deals with TB. I love the Drow ban, by the way. Drow is also a good pick for Yadaro.
I wouldn't mind something like a Doom either. Or
Magnus. So I think I want to say that's Collapse Magnus, right?
It ought to be. Yeah, indeed. Okay. Izzy locks it in.
He's not Yuma. He's not going to play the carry. Okay. That's good. I think the Secret carry is a solid choice this game. I mean, you are dealing with Lesh and Pango, but you're less of an illusion hero, like I said. The thing about illusion heroes against TB is that for some reason, both like a lot of the illusion heroes also have this kind of really spread out playstyle, both CK and PL, right? Of like, I go for your supports first, I run around the team fight, it's impossible to kill me, right? And that's actually what beats Terrorblade. Yeah, he sucks at dealing with illusions, but it's more that playstyle that crushes him than the actual illusions themselves. So CK is the best in that case because he still has that playstyle, but he's much less illusion dependent like PL. So Pango and Leshrac are not that big a deal. I don't like, by the way, though, that they do run Leshrac mid in the end. I was actually a big fan of Leshrac offlane. I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, I think the issue is just simply with the lane, right? I think the lane would have been pretty hard for Pango there as a result.
Yeah, I guess Lesh at least trades evenly.
Yeah,
But you could
Lesh-
crush the lane. Like, I feel like CK versus Pango IO is whatever. You get free farm.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially with Bane.
Yeah.
Honestly, they have kill potential, actually. CK Bane, they can kill IO Pango.
They can. Yeah, I'd probably, of course, more IO because Pango is probably going to break Tether like a million times in lane. It's naturally going to happen with an ability such as Swashbuckles. Yeah. I think I prefer this TeamSpirit lineup.
Same.
To be quite honest with you, I think the Wisp doesn't have such a great partner this game. The Lesh early and TB late, like, sure, it's going to be not bad, right? You'd always take a Wisp on your team, but at some point, like, when you're going late game versus a CK who buffs himself by just copying himself and TB's illusions aren't as good, like, I don't know, man. I'm feeling like this Pango is pretty heavily canceled throughout the whole game by Miposhka Bane. The Chen push is pretty properly dealt with, right? Hoodwink does well versus the illusions with the Acorn shot and Lina with her area damage.
Yep.
I'm kind of preferring Spirit's lineup here, even if they do have, as Yadaro calls it, a C tier carry.
I do find that Spirit's draft is also more cohesive in general as a draft. Like, the Magnus pick is an odd pick for the meta currently, but it's a good pick, right? You give farming potential to the CK. You still have this movement spell that works so nicely with Bushwhack because that you have 2 movement spells in the lane, which is great to getting kills. Like, it's a solid cohesive draft. Whereas I feel like BB, they went one way in the beginning, then they went another way. Like, it's kind of an IO draft, kind of a push draft. I don't know where the Chen fits in this draft. I'm not that sold.
I guess
honestly.
it's got to be for the push, right?
Sure.
But then, I mean, I guess I would prefer the Chen. If you're going in for the heals, right, you might as well double the Hand of God heal with the Wisp, which is pretty good now because remember, one of the buffs that Chen, well, among the jungle buffs that he received as well, he also has a heal per second now on Hand of God, which is essentially double healing, right? 20 heal per second for 10 seconds is another 200 HP, right?
Oh, that's good.
And it scales with each level, and that's nice because the Wisp especially is going to be able to take advantage of that. So it's a lot of regen and good split push, which is why I guess they pick it over something like the Ench, right? Who would have had a similar kind of effect in the early push.
I thought the Chen was fine. It's just that, I mean, I'm not criticizing their drafting. It's more about the position they found themselves in, where, like, at the end, they realized, oh, all the fast Ks that we'd like to play don't look so good here, right?
Yeah.
Against this, like, CK draft. Especially because we don't have last pick, because we can't cheese him, right? If you had last pick, great. Last pick is probably really strong for BetBoom, not this case. So you pick a TB, who does have some early push. He's not entirely that bad in that sense, so he's actually one of the better carries to pick in this sense, but doesn't really fit the tempo of your draft as much.
Yep.
He does give you a late game win condition, but I feel like the mid game for Spirit is just death. Also, if Lina just goes for mixed damage and goes from MKB at some point, I feel like TB melts as well. When you fight between 2 ranged carries, it's really about who has more range. It's kind of that simple.
Yeah, I reckon I'd agree with you there. I think Toronto Tokyo, it would also behoove his team if he did also go for the Scotty at some point. I think it's a serious consideration because, again, when your supports don't build Vessel or farm Vessel, honestly, that quickly. Offlane, Magnus, I would say, is a little bit better at building Ashivas than someone like the CK in the offlane, but he certainly wants a couple items before he gets that online, right? He's not going to build it early. So the healing reduction is something definitely you are looking to get online. Not quite as soon as possible, but it's a consideration because otherwise taking down this TB is going to be quite taxing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The problem with like having this double heal, this double big save, is TB only needs that extra half a second to get off Asunder and turn a team fight. And even though CK absolutely can murder one of these supports instantly at the start of the fight, you still have the other to contend with.
Yeah, that's true. We also, in this incredible heal thing that we're talking about, you also have the fact that you can just heal the Lash, right? Like, we didn't really consider it because we kind of just lost over him, but healing the Lash, kind of hype. He's a hero that the more he's alive, the more damage is dealt in the team fight.
Yep.
You could go for the Bloodstone build, and we saw this, or something similar with, in one of the Div 2 games we casted. Actually, one of the few games that, I think it was Solo's team that won, no techies. It was the only game that they won. I don't know if it was them, but I remember there was just one game where like they went IO Lash and they just went for Bloodstone on Lash. It was the old Bloodstone, mind you, but still. And it was still the idea of like, I survive forever, I am unkillable, I am the ultimate tank. It could happen. It's a tough game to do so, though.
Yeah, I agree, especially with this
There's a lot of burst.
By the way, Toronto Tokyo doing an excellent job in this mid lane. He's been at 7 stacks of Fiery Soul for probably like 30 seconds, 35 seconds straight now. And of course, mid laners have all the sustain in the world to deal with this, but it's been a little bit taxing here for Laurel. who has not found a lot of CS in the meantime. But yeah, just interesting. Went really hard on Fiery Soul at the start to be a bit of a lane dominator. Other lanes a little bit even, more even anyway. Really just mid lane, Lilina having a bit of an earlier lead. Have they blocked the Chen camps? No, so he's free to gather whatever creeps he can find. I think that's fine, by the way. I think you really need to focus on blocking like Ench camps, for example. Whereas for the Chen, like he'll find creeps anyway. Finds a ghost though. That's ideal early. Mid lane, Toronto Tokyo.
Is he just gonna kill? He just tanked the whole Devil Edict, and he's like, "I'm stronger than you," and he realized halfway through, "I am not stronger than Lesh." So. I mean, he's winning the lane regardless, though. There got a couple of denies there, and the experience difference is really making a difference. And this is where I also didn't love the Lesh mid, right? He doesn't win against Lina either. Lina can farm faster than you, and Lina's stronger at farming the side camp as well, so she usually gets an advantage.
Especially because I was afraid of this. Maybe he's going to be vindicted here on Laurel, but he is once again seemingly going to max Diabolic Edict. I thought for sure this is the lane you take Lightning Storm, right? To really bully Lina, give her a bit of that magic damage back. You know, how you like them apples. Most importantly, maybe not most importantly, but also key, the slow, right, lasts a bit longer. I don't know.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I feel like the Lightning Storm build might have been better here. I don't think you get away with... Because, like, Lina is one of the few mid laners that I think doesn't really care about rotating. She just stay mid and keep farming. True. Honestly.
That was going to be my counterpoint. Like, usually you see this build against heroes that kill to rotate, like a Quap, right? She wants to get out of that lane and gank. The Spirits, usually most of them want to get out of that mid lane and gank. A Snapfire mid especially, right? Like, she lives on early rotations, or at least supports rotating to her, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I'll talk about another lane, though. In the bottom lane, Pango's actually making good use of the tether. It's being broken all the time. It's kind of a nuisance. It's not the strongest combo, but... honestly, for what a Pango's supposed to do, it's not that bad. Pango, as an offlaner, is a relatively weak lane against most matchups.
And for what is a pretty difficult lane, he's got a lot of regen as well. Again, they don't really kill Yatoro in this lane. Like, I don't think they have a snowball's chance in hell, to be honest. Maybe they get Miposhka, or maybe Yatoro. Oh, he gets the crit, but not enough damage here in a force major. They instantly cancel the salve, however. And Yatoro, who I said would never die, is going to get a little bit lower on HP, but he's going to be A-okay.
Miposhka's like, have a tango, very aggressively giving the damage. Yatoro has to be a bit careful. Swashbuckle, that's going to hurt. Nightmare. Yataro's like, thank you, Miposhka. I'll leave now. Miposhka, a couple of attacks in, realizing it's futile because...
Miposhka, give me the salve. Thank you for saving me. Now,
and the tango as well. Oh, what a bro is Miposhka. His net worth is all on Yatoro now.
Yeah, he's got 100 of it on his stick, or 200, I suppose, right? But such is the life for Banes usually. You don't need to buy. You don't need your own regen. Just nightmare them. I'm out of mana. I don't care. Buy me a salve.
This is partially though because Force Major is doing a really good job of playing positioning with Isle. They keep trying to catch him, but they just can't. And now it's nighttime, it's even harder because they don't have vision of the Isle. See, they go for that. Okay, this time they actually messed up slightly. Can they punish this? Force Major. There we go.
Bro.
As soon as I say it, right, I just jinx the man.
Come on.
Look, you know what? I was a TSpirit supporter. I was there when they did the run. I was one of the few people that got to see it live.
Yes, you were, actually.
I was shouting, LGD, I mean, Spirit, let's go.
Yes, you were. TSpirit, 91 Ti. And, no, never mind. I'll pass on that joke. It's a bit too mean.
Thank you. I know where you're going to go for that.
It's a bit too mean, I think. Yeah. It's a bit too cheeky. Collapse. Top lane collapse. He's got skewers. Gonna find himself rooted though. And woo, with the damage. I thought maybe they had enough. That Harpy Stormcraft packs a punch.
I have never seen a hill troll actually being utilized because he got nerfed. But he does have the ensnare now, so.
Yeah, I mean everyone always wants the hill troll summoner, right, for the skellies, but the net has changed over. Now, of course, the hill troll summoner spawns the skellies, of course. So, yeah, that's kind of one of the first times I've seen him utilized as well. He's been largely ignored. No one really
I guess Chen also takes advantage of this, right? Because he's like, oh, guys, I can finally take the net early because my creep max level is still 4.
Good point.
Right?
Yeah, and Chen's even going to find a pretty big stack here. We'll see if he can't really take anything too useful in here. The Courser, I guess. Yeah. The
oh, right, no. He's doing the tornado. Oh, the Cyclone farming. It's been so long since I've seen this, man. He's messed up, though.
Yes,
you have to do it from farther away so they don't aggro.
Well.
Okay, he put the tornado back in, so Reiko's like, alright, okay, I'm moving my creep in now to tank it. That's weird.
Oh no. But in the meantime, Notice is going to take a death down bottom. We were watching much more the interesting Cyclone Tornado. Yeah, don't mind us.
Dude, I forgot this was a thing. This has been done in so long.
He's taking the stack, and I'll tell you what, Toronto Tokyo is going to be pretty upset. He's going to be, guys, where's the stack? Excuse me?
Who made this stack? Do you know? I mean, they know, right? Because it was just like.
Yeah, I reckon Mira. No, you don't get gold, right?
You do. That's why. The stack always gets gold. That's why. No matter who takes it.
No, not if enemies kill it.
You sure about that?
100%. I can tell you that because I played like 1,800 support games.
When I
100%. Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't. Otherwise, they probably would have ganked them a bit earlier. I mean, Chen's almost certainly a free kill for Alina, especially
I guess
level
that
7.
makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Mira noticed that now and pinged it. There's also he only left one Warpine Raider out of spite.
That's like he's like I can't kill this one.
Of course, creep.
And you know what? Amira's gonna try and stack this as well.
He blocked it too.
He's gonna be so upset. I'd be so salty.
Oh wow.
Amira's not gonna hear this out, and he's gonna be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Are you kidding me?
At least
he
gets
knows
the
he didn't
ward.
mess up.
Okay. Mid lane though, there's a fight, and Mapochka's gonna be the one to die. Laurel's still alive as he did have to face tank that spicy Laguna Blade, but he will live. Mostly thanks to the healing of the Wisp.
The stack or this play was actually more hype than the kill though. Like I actually think it's more impactful as well.
It is?
Genuinely.
Yeah,
Because that's,
I mean,
that's how Lina like kind of snowballs out of control.
It would have been a big if they killed Laurel there, but he just lives.
Yes.
Lina loses her stacks. She's mighty upset. Hoodwink now has to get into the triangle here and D-ward, but much to her eventual sadness, she's also got the Ancients blocked. She doesn't know that yet because she hasn't tried the double stack. But yeah, that's going to be mighty annoying.
Wow.
Collapse, top lane. Is he saving a skill point if he needs to use the RP? So far, doesn't really want to.
Has maxed in power though. Getting away with maxing in power and offlane Magnus these days is wild. He's going for a Midas of all things as well.
Ooh, interesting.
The meta is faster, but Collapse, yeah, he has his own meta.
Yeah, speaking of Metamorphosis, it's going to get used now as the Hawk is farming a little stack. Nothing too major. Rotation here, but Soneko just continuing to just annoy them. What's he grabbed? This guy's got Mana Burn and the Mana Aura.
What I think is interesting about this build is that we were joking about how, oh, it's not carry Magnus, it's CK carry, right? But like, he's pretty much going to be playing carry Magnus if he goes for this Midas.
Wait, actually, Mira's not decided to D-ward this camp, by the way.
Okay,
now he's going to do it. Now he's going to do it.
And then he's going to lack one sentry for the stupid Ancients, which are also
quite crucially, of course, this sentry is not. It's the way he's blocked these camps. I don't think you can get him with one sentry. So, at least you're unlikely because when you know one camp is blocked for sure, you place the sentry here, so you guarantee D-ward it. So yeah, he's not going to be able to reach for both.
Okay, Viposhka, that's where the illusion. Laurel comes by, then we'll Kedic, Viposhka. There's a nightmare. Viposhka for now will live, but Laurel will get saved by his teammate, and he's going to chase him down. There we go.
And Mira's dying to the wolf. Mira,
no.
run!
He got the bushwhack off. He got the bushwhack off. He's
just
fine,
enough
actually.
mana. Just enough mana.
That was on point. Also, really nice that you notice that he didn't have to turn, right? Because he bushwhacked forward, but just in the area. Those small things matter a lot, actually. Respect to that.
Yes, they do. We've got a turn rate in Dota 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. I love watching Mira play.
And Soneko. Oh, they're gone. Viposhka, welcome back to the lane. And right back to the fountain. That'll be almost certainly here the tier 1 with the wagon, with once again max Diabolic Edict. And just to spite me, Avo, Laurel's maxing Splitter at the next.
I mean, if you could have maxed Edict, yes. Lightstorm is only for the lane, right? Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, they take the mid tower relatively early in this game, so it's not bad. They've actually been managing to use the Chen and the Leshrac effectively. And Lesh even has some stacks here to take.
Yeah,
what are those?
Top as we see, it's the tower trade. Down bottom, though, Dahak, I think, should have meta up shortly. 30 seconds. But I don't think, especially with Yadaro in the top lane already, it doesn't seem to me like Spirit are too interested in defending this tower. Down bottom.
Who stacked the camp, by the way? Did you see that? Like the camp that Lesh just took?
Oh, I did not know.
Oh, okay. I'm curious, because if they're stealing your stacks all over the map, I feel like TSpirit should just stop stacking, because it's counterproductive here.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Magnus, by the way, has got Midas online. Very quickly doubling back for phase boots. I imagine, I'm not sure what that's for. Maybe just mana boots, I guess. I thought maybe he was going to dissemble it, not into Aether, but maybe Lotus. We'll see. Mid tower's going to fall. BB not interested in defending this one either. I thought Yadar also was going Midas, pardon me. No, he's not. Armlet online, Echo Saber, BKB. Much more standard build here. LSA is going to be dodged by the Vault. And That's going to be Laurel then bottling up the DD rune. Nothing too crazy for him.
Okay. He is going to be going for, I mean, pretty standard build here, but no need to deviate into potential like early BKB or anything, because he knows, I mean, they're just going to play the farm game, right, with Magnus.
Yeah.
And it feels like they're saying, all right, BB, come at us. See how much you can do. They have really good lane cutting with Hoodwink and Lina, honestly. She also went for travels.
Yes,
Magnus is pretty good at that,
I wanted to talk
too.
about the travels, actually, if you would spare me a moment.
Go
I think
ahead.
it's really smart because I think, well, not only is she a great bots builder, of course, but also, like, this Chen is just, like, ruining your jungle. He's been griefing your jungle all game. CK is going to get the safe farm. You gotta just kind of take the slightly dangerous farm on Lina. It's the only farm you're going to get, and your team actually needs you to do it because of the Phantom, the Ghost push that we always see from TV.
Hello.
Reload's coming. Oh, just a little reload. Just I saved you a half a second, Laurel.
It's good. It's good. You know, sometimes you gotta teach him that you can do these things, so just so he's aware of it and he can play more aggressively.
He's probably gonna die though. He's trying to. He's keen for a kill. They're gonna go for the tether.
Oh!
Oh! Reality Rift. Nicely done. Breaks the tether, and Collapse will break his life.
That's one of those things where you gotta test the relocate, but sometimes the test goes awry. You're in the Tesla factory and there's no signs, and you just get killed afterwards.
Oh, yikes! Yeah, I tried to tweet that joke up, but my Twitter got banned. Oh, and here's Soneko. Look at him. He's got the bodyguards. He's got the 4 Stampies ready to go.
God.
I don't know how he's found all of these. Can we get a Stampy? Can we get a Stompy camp, please? This is amazing.
Honestly,
I don't know if he's ever gonna make use of this.
There's something really cool about seeing these 4 guys. It's like you roll up in the club and you have 4 centaurs with you. Remember
Straight
when
to
you used
VIP.
to, you can still do the thing, right? If you cast the Holy Persuasion on yourself, yeah, they all come to you,
Yes,
so
they
you can
all
like
come.
you can go blink chant and cast it. I remember when that was a build, and you do the 4 stops afterwards.
You know who would do that in slightly a different hero was I remember Boston Major 2016. My boy Spartan main stage versus OG bought a blink dagger and would bring in his cores by casting relocate and then blinking on the enemy cores.
Oh right, because he's playing Io. Yeah.
No,
exactly.
he was playing Coddle. He was playing Coddle.
Look at Coddle. Oh right, yeah, because the recall was okay.
Yeah.
Look at them go. Look at them go.
Here
They
go.
found their brother,
Collapse,
their older
come
brother,
here.
the Magnus. Oh
1,
no, that's 1, 2.
Oh no,
he gets away. He messed up the timing a little bit there, and Collapse actually gets away.
He's gonna RP.
Oh no, he RP'd 2 of the Centaurs in the Pango. Force Major's now in trouble. The tip immediately to Yatoro.
Oh,
and
no.
that ended up in disaster.
Oh, Centaurs.
No,
Get out
they
of
killed
there.
one of the Centaurs. Run away. Another dies.
Oh no.
That
That's
was
not how
really
the
bad.
March of the Centaurs was supposed to go, but it's also, in all seriousness, a terrible fight for BB. They lose 3 heroes there, most importantly their mid laner. At least the Hawk continues to farm, but he's being outpaced here by Yatoro quite easily. Toronto Tokyo also finding amazing farm. I don't think they can kill him here. Yes, mostly because all the Stampies died, so you don't have a stun. Oh, they were there a little late, unfortunately.
Yeah.
2 of them are alive.
I do feel like that is one of those situations where they're trying to play too well. Like he was trying to outstun with the Rolling Thunder, right? And it's just kind of hard to tell when the Rolling Thunder stops stunning, you know? Like it's just not the easiest thing to be able to coordinate. Usually, especially when you have such a complicated thing as a Centaur stun. Honestly, it's not easy to execute.
No.
And if you have to now rely on your teammates on top of that, it's really tough. So I'm not going to really blame Soneko, but that is a disaster. And now this hyper farming build of TeamSpirit is working out especially for them because.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's I think, like, the 5th cast of the Midas so far. Collapse says, screw Mana Boots, that's a support item. I'm getting Blink Dagger. Let's fight, team. And I agree with this decision. BKB for Toronto Tokyo is going to be up shortly. He'll farm this in about another minute or so, along with Yatoro, his own BKB, which is going to be delayed. Not quite, actually, because he can always disassemble this Echo Saber. So we've got double BKB reveal for TeamSpirit, if they want to, alongside a Magnus RP Blink Dagger in just about another minute here, ready to go. For now, though, traps being set bottom. Only Mira's here to spring it, and Squirrels are pretty good at getting out of traps.
Yeah, they push the tower at least, Mira. Those are the Yules. Can a sharpshooter, but if you prevent the stunning, you can't launch a sharpshooter. So that situation where you want to like sharpshooter in their direction and just, you know, boost yourself forward. Or
plus the Yules, you actually get turned when you Yules, I believe,
Yeah, it's so
by
annoying.
half a turn. Yeah, so he got set down the wrong way. Yatoro? The reload's here.
He's playing really well on the Rolling Thunder.
Stuns the
Knows
Stampy.
exactly what to do.
I've got another one, though, says Soneko.
Okay. And they got the split earth first.
There
we
it
go.
is.
The coordination's here. Yataro's gonna die. It worked out. Oh, well, it took a bit longer, but it worked out.
Yeah, he didn't want to stomp the other one, but it's okay. They still get the kill onto Yatoro. That's a big kill. I think BKB was on the way from there, like literally on the courier. The recipe was at the very least. Yeah, he would have had it. See as he disassembles the Echo Saber.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the Magnus there with you, you can always Midas one of those Centaurs, right? So that's also a great reason why the Midas is useful against Chen. But right now, Magnus is in full farming mode, which is fair enough. Like, if you're given this space, you better use it to farm. You know that with a Tricore, you can beat the TB, so just wait till your timings come up, right?
You know what I think this is? I think this is Soneko, because he keeps collecting these Centaurs. He's got another one. I think he's saying, you're not the only one who can make 4 copies of himself. I also can make copies. And guess what, CK? Mine lasts forever.
I wonder how much priority they're giving him in the comps. Genuinely,
I don't think he makes it out this time.
No, RP's used, but this time the Lesh had his Pulse Nova activated. Yatoro. He wants to fight. Tokyo's here too. Force Major. The Chaos Bolt, 3 seconds to stun. That's long enough. Split Earth, though, will cover Force Major's retreat. More Force Major, stop hitting him. Okay, yeah, finally actually gets away.
They're going to try and turn. Here comes
Lotus. They will. BKB, though, on the CK, surprised them a little bit. A lot of damage for the Slash, but the Yols will save him as Force Major keeps him topped up. Rolling Thunder did get wasted, and both teams will retreat. Nobody wants to fight.
Okay, Laurel getting off that Yule Scepter is extremely clutch. That's double 9-second BKB. I don't want to say wasted by TeamSpirit, but considering they get basically nothing for it, and perhaps now Dahog can lead the team into Roche, and you don't have RP because it was used before Collapse died, maybe kind of a big turning point here for BB. I don't know if they can quite do Roche, but Dahog, again, he's waiting in the pit with meta. They're going to try. And certainly, as compared to last game, they've got plenty of damage.
Let's see. This Ken, TeamSpirit is there, the team fight? No, they don't have RP, right? So
again, yeah, they don't have RP, they don't have BKBs.
Is Bushwhack enough? He's gonna try.
He's gonna try. Get him, Mr. Stomps.
Oh no, he didn't get the Bushwhack off. That's it.
And Yatoro, he tried to kill Mr. Stomps, but the Yatoro didn't bring him up to the high ground. Tokyo's gonna dispatch of him, but Roche being taken now by Dahog. The sharpshooter into the pit is gonna find Laurel. Oh! The horn toss, not good enough though, because the Yule Scepter is gonna make sure Laurel can secure the Aegis. No chance for Collapse there to snatch it away. At least he lives. And BB will settle there with the kill onto Roche, as well as Aegis on Laurel.
Let's not forget that while Horn Toss is still a good shard, it is not as OP as it was a TI. It does not stun you for the full duration, so now you can actually Yules in the middle of the Horn Toss, right? That's what Laurel did. He actually Yules them in the middle of the Horn Toss.
Heads up play.
Yeah, you have to be smart. Like, now the only thing that Horn Toss is good against is panicking, right? Like, if you don't panic, you're mostly okay as long as you have some sort of insta-cast, right? Hex, Yules, whatever. Obviously, when BKB happens, this changes, but you can still Yules yourself. So you don't get skewered away. I don't think we're going to see many of those Magnus plays as much. He has to play more like the... I don't know if you ever watched the Rise Magnus, but he used to do this thing where he used to buy Force Staff, and he would use it offensively, and then he would skew with the enemy team, and that's kind of unbeatable.
I actually think this is probably the intended way. Like, this is what Ice Frog intended when he added this shard. It was probably supposed to be Blink, RP, then you Horn Toss, so you don't have to awkwardly walk around heroes if you don't build Phase Boots, and then skewer back to your team. Not Blink, Horn Toss, Skewer, and then RP, right? No. Big difference, because one of them, you RP the hero very far from their team compared to the other one, which allows you for much more counterplay. So yeah, that's why the shard is a lot weaker now.
Exactly, I agree. I think the shard is what it's intended. I completely agree.
Yeah.
LGD though is mauling hard to change after they saw that. Well, angry about that.
I mean, compared to how Tong Fu got, debated by the hook. At least I think this one was fair. Oh, right. Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I don't know.
It was both of them, right? It was Tong Fu as well.
I mean, now he won a couple of games there. I remember which one it was. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Good clips. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna be.
But the person who molded most of that was actually Lotus, so it wasn't even the team that lost. So that clip, still my favorite clip in the history.
It's so good, man. I'm so glad they had cameras rolling back then.
Yeah, that was the best.
It's so much personality you get to capture.
It's not flame at all. It's genuinely my favorite
it's
clip.
genuinely like it's good for the scene. I love seeing it. It made me a fan of Alliance. Here they go.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder. Okay, there he goes. Back again for the BKB just in time.
Hey, run, boys!
Pango feels
Get
bad.
out of here!
They break the Lesh.
No, not the ISO
slightly. Yatoro did use the BKB for this. We still have Meta, actually, and Scotty, so BB's not in that bad a position.
Yeah, and so there's an RP, quite crucially, and most importantly, another Midas here in 5 more seconds. A Collapse. He's going to probably eat one of these Shen creeps. Oh, no. He's going to go instead for DeHawk into the Fiend script. They are stacking the stuns here a little bit. The heals, not enough. The RP did get used, and they didn't catch anyone because the reload was in time from Force Major, but they are forcing them away. No Aegis here, of course, on TB. Force Major very likely going to die here, but not bad. Not too bad, anyway. Who's got Mage Slayer?
Very good play by Collapse regardless, right? You acknowledge that the... Oh, noticed? Is Toronto going to kill him? Yes. he didn't even notice he killed him. He was like, oh, I guess Pango's dead. So the Terrorblade has no sort of save, right? I mean, I guess you could Manta theoretically in the Harlem toss. I don't actually know how that works. I think you skewer the illusions regardless, right? You don't dispel it, obviously, but you could ignore him. I don't know. But there's no Yules, there's no BKB, so nothing he can really do if he does the Harlem toss.
Maybe Manta, right? Because it does randomly reshuffle you, so maybe you get a little lucky.
But I'm pretty sure that no matter what, the skewer will get you. I think
I think you're right. It's not as big as a kind of area, right, that you get shuffled as, like, Doppel.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I think that TB was screwed there no matter what. And I think this just used to be BB acknowledging this is a threat and being ready with the Yules. Of course, because you can always Yules the magnets. When the BKB comes out, though, I'm expecting TB to have BKB himself, because otherwise you're screwed.
Yes. And I actually think probably BB can still look to fight. Like, DeHawk did not pop Metamorphosis before he died. He now has a full Eye of Scotty online. He had that in the push. You still have the Slash Aegis for another minute. They don't have RP for another 50 seconds. I don't know. I think you're still in the driver's seat here. The net worth lead, of course, which only we can see, does slightly favor TSpirit. But as far as like ability to fight, especially because Seneko has now a casual Ancient following him, I think they're good to go.
Betrayal of the Centaurs.
Yeah.
The Ancient's very good for taking high ground right as well, so this particular one, Thunder Hide. So if you can actually win a team fight here, huge, because you can just go straight high ground. You have a great high ground push.
Another change to Chenna, because I believe this used to be his old Ag Scepter. They've changed it to his Shard. Now Hand of God is a strong dispel with your ultimate, with the Ag Scepter proper.
Which is very good too.
Oh, and he's got
Both
the Harpy.
very good.
Without the Aura, though, you don't have permanent uptime. You can see it's actually, he's losing mana here, slowly.
Not the Aura, the Helmet Dominator buff straight up.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so in case you guys don't know, Helmet Dominator actually buffs the mana regen creeps as well. Usually not really that relevant, but for Harpy, it becomes kind of OP.
Yeah, it eventually settles out at like 175. And they do at least get another objective here with the Aegis, as it's now reclaimed. TSpirit will be aware that Aegis is up, but are going to be aware there's a 5-man smoke coming their way. DeHawk, his smoke breaks first. Miposhka TPing out. He can't cancel it, but they cannot get to do the Yadaro. Can they? It's close. It's a long TP. Avo, who's a really long TP. Where did he TP to?
That's exactly what I was looking. Pythian, we need to trust you. I'm going to go look at the monitor. Do you know? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Pythian.
Thank you, Pythian. Yeah, tier 3. I think he TP'd crucially after Bane.
Yes.
They were probably looking to make a smoke play. They probably were recalling the team, saying, guys, come on, let's go. Aegis is up. It's time to fight. Both TP into the tier 3, trying to waste no time to get into the smoke. That extra second or two was the death of him.
Yadaro stands up from his chair. Who's the carry, Miposhka? Why are you TPing before me? Anyway, obviously not. They might get noticed, though. Toronto Tokyo. They tip him as he gets the skill. I love as well. Tip in the voice line. Yes! Yes!
That seemed a bit silly. Like, why didn't he swashbuckle away? He was actually trying to trigger the Lucky Strike.
No. Lucky shot. No.
Lucky shot, yes.
Yeah, even if swashbuckle away, he just dies to the Lina.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly.
The attacks hurt. And this is the build that actually Illidan popularized a long time ago in Lina when he used to play Lina carry. Where you go Shadowblade, and the theory behind this is, back when Lina was like a Yosefter builder, if you remember, right? That was the build before. You used to go Shadowblade, and Illidan discovered, oh, this is enough setup for my Light Strike array. And it's kind of what Toronto Tokyo is doing in this game.
Yep.
Like, you just remain invisible, and if you're good with Lina, you'll always hit that stun, because they don't evade you in time.
Exactly. Oh, they got the real one.
They got the real one. Toronto Tokyo's ready as well. There's the Yule Scepter, but Toronto Tokyo has the BKB. They got a bit confused by the Manta stuff towards the end. And the relocate actually saves him. Lina, out of spite, attacks Laurel. Well, that's just misguided anger. In fact, Toronto Tokyo could be in trouble themselves. They still have the Sunder available. Toronto Tokyo, is he going to die this? The Bushwhack to at least
there goes.
Stop the Hawk.
Sharpshooter.
They kill Toronto Tokyo. Force Major does die to the skewer.
He's vesseled.
Sharpshooter.
He needs a target. Seneko, come here. My blood bag.
There we go. The blood bag's ready. Leshrac up in the air he goes. Silenced up. He's going to die, but now the Hawk against Meta. The Bushwhack once again getting him and stopping him right in his tracks. BB wants to continue this, but a bit too slow.
They use Grip as well on the notice. He's got 54% damage reduction. He's been hit 4 times here, but he hit 4 on the shield crash, so they can't actually get through him. And now Yadaro's on the run, has a full Bloodthorn. He's going to try and TP away. DeHawk's here with the damage. This time he makes it out. But the
Okay,
fights...
that shield crash onto 4 people actually was huge then. The
Yeah.
biggest part of that fight for Notice.
They couldn't kill him. 54% damage reduction.
Often overlooked part of the skill. Honestly, well played by BB. Maybe a bit overzealous by TSpirit, right? I feel like the
Yeah.
Laguna maybe could have come earlier. I don't know. It's hard to gauge what's more damage if Lina keeps attacking you, because she does have Silver Edge at this point. So,
By all metrics, that is still a win, though, for TSpirit. Not only in kill counts, but as far as gold,
Right.
as far as XP, they still win out there. Even as far as like where they fight on the map. BetBoom, sure, they do route Spirit towards the tail end of that fight, but there's no objective there for them to take. They don't want to plant wards there. You know what I mean? They didn't even want... That's not a part of the map they want to fight in. So not bad by BetBoom at all. Like, it's still a respectable fight from them, but they do slightly lose out. Wisp having to buy back, and it's a mid laner for mid, so slightly better for Spirit.
yeah, slightly better for Spirit. I agree. And obviously them getting to their now big timings, I would say. The Bloodthorn being a big deal here for the CK.
Love the
That
change to the recipe, by the way. Mage Slayer is now relevant. Really, really love that
Do you
item.
want to do the song and dance again?
What's the song for Mage Slayer? Or for
You just
Bloodthorn?
say this every game. It's like, by the way, Ice Frog, great job.
Well, it's a
Fantastic.
great job. Before
It
I
is,
was
I
like, come
agree
on.
with
Well, because before I had 2 complaints. Mage Slayer, terrible item because it didn't
Also,
build into
yeah.
anything. And also Bloodthorn, not that great of an item because it's so expensive. And by the time the True Strike becomes relevant, cores have BKBs or like 8 dispels.
Yes.
And
And the
now,
Hyperstone seemed relevant because it had internal synergy with Bloodthorn, but the weakness is you just BKB.
sorry. It was just funny.
That's
Collapse. He's like, I'm going to sneak up on you under the cover of smoke and delete your vision, your OP vision.
That's partially why the Midas is also useful, especially towards the late game. But
Yeah.
yeah, before it was like the Hyperstone seemed to have internal synergy with the Bloodthorn, which is true, but then BKB would just erase the item, right? Whereas
Yeah,
now
it was
Mage Slayer
just-
is useful even if they have BKBs.
Exactly. I had the same problem with like the earlier nullifiers. I'm glad it got fixed. Listen, I'm not saying like Ice Frog is listening to me. Definitely not.
He definitely is not.
But it's really cool how now more items are relevant, and we see them get picked up in games like this, where it's legitimately a very good Mage Slayer game.
Okay, this is a weird fight.
Yeah, BB have vision here
We
though.
can take this. Yeah, exactly. They put the ward down.
There's
Go for
Bane
the Bane
deleted.
first. Not the biggest kill. BKB for Collapse. He can still get
Step
away.
buyback.
In fact, it seems like after dewarding that, TSpirit also want to find this triangle.
Yep.
EB just looking to reposition
Collapse's
themselves.
BKB wears off. Still has RP, of course.
Okay, TSpirit
Meta's-
plays this safely though.
Meta's been used, yeah. So TSpirit, they know if they just drag out this fight, they can't get Roche. Even though it's not up yet, teams don't know that. It's a super long Roche spawn, by the way. I think the longest it could be.
I didn't
The
see
scan,
it.
though,
Oh,
from Spirit might get them here to maybe overstep their boundaries a little bit. As
Okay.
They might think Roche is up. Oh, the RP. Collapse
Oh!
finds one, but he doesn't land the skewer immediately.
no, that was a good Yols there. He's have BKB. That was the clutch play. And now the relocate saving the Terrorblade as well, making sure that the Hawk doesn't die here. They want to try to fight on the remnants of this
Meta's about to
Metamorphosis
run
on
out,
Alina.
though, Avo. Meta's about to be
BKB
up.
TP. It's fine.
Okay, and there they go. Can they get through Roche without Meta? Becomes the question, as don't worry, that's just killing an illusion. We'll see here. They're certainly going to give it a go without RP, without BKB here for Toronto Tokyo. Yadoro still conserves his BKB charge, and he's got Phantasm in 8 more seconds, but it doesn't seem like Spirit are going to be willing to contest this Roche. It will be going the way towards BetBoom. That's going to be second Aegis here and the Shard.
Yeah, the song and dance really benefited BetBoom in this fight because they were capable of taking the Roche without the need of the meta, right? And the Demon Zeal is also a big deal for the Hawk. 1 second.
No problem. I really think that scan kind of baited TSpirit into really going in. Collapse, I suspect he was expecting to find more people caught by the RP when it was just a Hawk and he's immediately fuels. I think they thought Roche was up, and who wouldn't? By most accounts, it should have been up by then. It was just the longest Roche timer. So Spirit a little bit unlucky on that end. Normally, I say both teams are unlucky when it's a long Roche timer, but I think BB with proper positioning and making sure that there was no vision advantage there for TSpirit, kind of, you know, fog of war, right, at play. Heal Scepter play as Laurel forces the last long duration BKB here from Lina, who's simply going to TP away. There's a Basher on Pango, so that's why he goes for the play. Could have potentially canceled the TP.
Okay. Thank you, Rich.
Yep.
As with this, they will completely take over the outer towers now, and hopefully, the play now usually tends to be you go in triangle, unless you get
There's
skewered.
more. Good.
It is
Ooh.
Slash. He got the
He's
Yols
got-
a little bit late though.
Got no
Laurel.
BKB, but he's got a reload.
Oh, that Fiend Script though did stop the Pango. That Reality Rift actually kind of screwed them over a little bit, but it's fine. And the pulsating ball will die
Yeah.
as Force Major might be in the same position. They have Skewer, they're preparing for it. There we go. Shocker just in case. No need for the Skewer.
Oh, Collapse, he wants the army. He wants
Cool.
all the skeletons. It's like a
he
Zai
didn't
chat
get
in here. Get rid of these skeletons. No bone zone here. Get him collapse.
I feel like that was a bit of a hasty play considering what resources they had available to them. Because if you're PP, honestly, the play most people go for after you take the outer towers is you take over the triangle, you put a ward there, and you fight around the high ground and you push mid and top, right? And then when you see an opportunity, you go for it. But you don't really commit, especially when you have an illusion hero that can just spam illusions there.
Yes. Yeah, and I think another mistake that they potentially make there is not respecting the Magnus. You know, he is a hero where if you're just showing a bit further than your team, even with this Wisp save, can certainly bring you so far out of position that there's just nothing your team can do. You know, Collapse, he's, you know, fairly well known on the Magnus, won a little tournament over last October, you know, basically. Not because of this hero, but I think most people will call that his most memorable hero from the tournament, I would say is fair, right? Yeah. So you know you gotta respect this guy on the Magnus. You're looking to go high ground. You're not exactly with your team. There's no Yule Scepter immediately to interrupt the skewer. You're gone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, there's the Magnus is still a threat. I feel like Collapse as a hero is just a threat, right? Like you get Mars, you get Magnus. You're like, oh, you have to be careful of the Magnus,
For sure.
Of the Collapse Magnus and the Collapse Mars and the Collapse Tide Hunter.
I mean, and this is something always Spirit have excelled at, right? Even
Yes.
when Tiny was played as almost exclusively as a support, you had Mira going for these like crazy toss plays, right?
Yeah.
This is something Spirit always excelled at.
Yeah, even back when they were Yellow Submarine, you could tell like they had lacked consistency, but the skill was always there. It was very impressive. We've always hyped up Collapse, right? It's cool because like seeing your little brother grow, right? We watched him literally in Dpole's global leagues.
Yeah,
I never thought
yeah.
he would make it to DI in a year as
Me
well.
neither. No, I
That's
mean
wild.
it is wild. I mean, especially because like you know, if you can just relive the hype, this is a team that got through kind of by the skin of their teeth. They almost got denied by was it Namiga Team Empire in opens. They had to go through the qualifiers.
Yeah, that's true.
This team they didn't directly qualify. Only VP directly qualified. I remember all season long because we did Eastern Europe. You know, seasons 1 and 2 in lower division, I had always been saying Eastern European Dota had kind of fallen off, right? They hadn't won any majors, any big events in a long time.
Yeah.
And even then, only having 2 representatives, I wasn't super hopeful of this team, but my God, have they grown. And they've really proved just about everything wrong. I still remember their first upper bracket game, the way they turned that game was it versus Vici? Just out of nowhere, they just decided, you know what, we're going to start winning this game now.
Yeah, honestly.
Super cool stuff. I mean,
That's
inspiring.
what the new generation did as well. Like the greatest thing is that we're actually seeing so many new players into Eastern Europe. A lot more teams are taking bets onto like pubbers per se, right? To try to give them opportunities. It's really nice. It was actually such
Love
a
to see
huge
it.
boom for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good that we get to see this tournament now and they get an opportunity to go to the major. I'm very happy about that.
And even BetBoom, you know, although they haven't had quite the Cinderella story, they're one of these teams as well. You know, 3 of these teams were on Team Generation, Team Next Generation. Literally, that was the name of the team.
Yes.
Get picked up by Prodigy. Don't have such a great season. A couple of reshuffles later, here they are. I mean, Division 1 taking the TI champions, the reigning defending TI champions, to a Game 3.
Yeah, it is known that the moment the TI champions lose a series, they have to give up their ages. So Boom
It's
currently
true.
has it.
Yes, it's
but,
true.
they'll have to call up Boom and get it back from them.
And all the Reddit officials then pan them, right? It's the armchair coaches and analysts.
Well,
say
because
now.
the moment you lose one game, everyone knows you're trash. Like that's how it works.
It's
right?
how it works. That's how it works. You're washed.
Unless you're Nick. Anyway, the Terrorblade here is going to be building a Blink Dagger into Swift Blink, by the way, which I love this idea. I wonder if that's to just jump the Lina. That's his objective. I guess so, right? Because Storm Tokyo is currently the biggest threat. He did go for the mixed damage build on the MKB. Oh, they got Soneko's Ags. Ooh, that was huge. That was on the Courier. That was a really big kill, actually.
Yeah, and curiously enough, there's absolutely 0 healing reduction that I'm seeing on Team Spirit. You know, Lina does not have a Scotty queued up. She's prioritizing her own well-being, which fair enough, right? With BKB and next Satanic. No Shivas for Mag. He is going to be going for the double RP. Fair enough. Refresh is a very strong item. And of course, CK Carry does not build Shivas, does not build Scotty. It's kind of weird. So yeah, no healing reduction. So the heals at this stage, and no Vessel or Urn, right, are going to be completely full for BB. So they get full utility out of these heals. It's maybe something that's going to be a bit annoying for them. And Wisp as well, he's taking good advantage of this, has a full Holy Locket up. Have they caught someone? No, nearly.
They did catch Mira, but no stuns, right? Notice that to charge the whole Rolling Thunder. He tried to roll up on top of him, which is a good technique. I've seen Pangos, by the way. I feel like this hero's just been broken down incredibly, and I've seen some Pangos now using roll-up like a mini Rolling Thunder, which is very impressive. Not just to turn, but just they wait until an auto attack from a ranged hero happens, and they just get the perfect stun, and they roll up. It's really hard
cool.
to do.
It's really hard to do. You've got to be exactly precise with your placement because you will bounce off terrain when you get pushed back. So you can use that to your advantage, but it can also be disadvantageous if you're not ready for it. It's like this guy's a big brain hero for sure.
Yeah.
It's
a huge ceiling. It's a huge ceiling.
Yeah. Pango, they're not the smartest animals. Of course, pangolins in real life, they kind of just like eat ants. That's what they do.
He's French, so he makes it smarter.
But he is French, yes, of course. He carries a rose in his mouth.
When a pangolin goes to the Renaissance, you get Pangolier. That's what it is.
Pangolier.
But I do like him. I think he's one of the better designed heroes of the newer Dota, right? Because even though I think his complexity mechanically is there, his complexity is largely tactical, of like when to fight, where to fight, right? What resources you need for a specific fight and how to take advantage of those. And yeah, the mechanics are certainly there, but that's what to me is beautiful about Dota. I don't want to see you clicking buttons really fast. I want to see you thinking about what buttons to click, right?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I think you really watered it down there, maybe a little bit too much towards the end for how
of course,
much you
mechanical skill
saying,
is much more than that. But you get my point.
I agree. Especially because this hero was like so bad. I mean, especially like when you compare it to Primal Beast, who is like terrorizing every single pub at every single level still to this day for like 2 months. Pango was so bad.
Oh, it's because Primal Beast also is the easiest thing. Oh, I pressed W. Oh, you're dead? I didn't even notice. I was just clicking around.
You tried to harass me in lane? I have 100 damage now.
Right. It's just like, why is that a thing?
Oh,
like,
you ran? Sorry,
I'm
on top of you.
We probably shouldn't give Centaur, retaliate stacks. That's too strong. Why don't we give a hero something 10 times better?
Yeah, who gets it right away.
And also give him a Centaur's strength gain. Like, this just destroyed Centaur, dude.
To be honest, I didn't like that patch where pros would take Retaliate level 1 and then walk up to the towers before the horn and just tank tower shots and then come to lane with that damage. I thought that was silly, but...
As someone who sounds like Suns fan, you better stop speaking that nonsense.
Yeah, you're right.
Is his favorite
Buff
hero.
his Ags. Give him pig pole.
Somehow you're actually improving the imitation, little by little. The joke is becoming reality. Leveler's picked up by the Hawk, pretty big deal. Right now, with the Swift Blink, what I'm assuming is the Hawk, yeah. Swift Blink plus Demon Zeal means you want to go straight for the Lina, right? And you're going to just jump the Lina. And with Scotty, it is possible. I want to see what TeamSpirit's counterplay is to this. Because obviously, if Pango jumps with you, there's no way you can Fiend Script the Terrorblade. So, but that's what he's counting on.
And Satanic is up now, but like I've said, I mean, TB has got Scotty, so I don't think you can expect to out-heal him. You're going to hit him because you got MKB, but I don't believe you're going to be able to out-damage him, to be quite honest.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
I will say, though, this TB is not the tankiest. Normally, he likes to go for a Satanic or a BKB by this point. He's got decent stats, to be certain, but, I mean, despite having 80% physical damage reduction with a lot of armor, he's killable.
I mean, Bane is also killable, but Laurel went a bit too ham.
Yeah.
In fact, that's Aeon that's triggered.
4-second stun casually there, so that's a pretty good roll there by Casino Knight.
Felt a bit unnecessary to do that, to be honest. Like the assumption that Bane would ever be solo in the mid lane in a pro game 30 minutes in, I felt like that was a bit disrespectful towards him.
And that kind of hurts as well, because that's the first Aeon disc getting procced, and now this item no longer as strong as it used to be. It adds 20 seconds on each proc, kind of. So the cooldown will be increased for the next one. And not the greatest use of the first one. But not the end of the world. You only lose a tier 2 for that. Roche isn't up. You're not going to lose Roche control. And I believe, in fact, yes, your Aeon Disc is going to be ready for the next Roche fight. Of course, neither team knows this, but that's going to be pretty good for BetBoom. And now Ags is finished for Chen, so he now has a strong dispel.
Finally building BKB. For a second there, I thought he was actually, like, he had it for the longest time because he should have had it a while, but, like, I'm glad that he built BKB. What did he sell, by the way? I didn't remember what the other item was.
Hold on, my brain is processing.
I genuinely do not know. I had forgotten. I'm sorry. I'm sure chat knows, so I'll read it later.
Yeah,
you guys are smarter than us, have better memory retention.
Well, it wasn't Swift Blink, it wasn't the boots.
My defense, I have ADHD. We're bad at working memory. Yeah, he says. So, Ninja Gear is also on TSpirit, so they can actually give us the Magnus potentially. Oh, they did already. Great. And Collapse can do these little shenanigans with the smoke. It's very good, because you're the blink buyer, right? So you're also the person that can, like, blink in though when your smoke breaks immediately.
Okay. Lina's 25. She's taking the attack range talent here.
Yeah, it's the best thing against TB.
Oh, for sure. TB, I don't want to say under-leveled, but only level 21.
It's an illusion hero thing. You farm with illusions, they don't get experience, right? So
it's
you
like
always
are.
Yeah.
Tinker. Well, old Tinker with March.
Right, yeah, it's more like the PL suffers from Naga suffered from this a lot, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you
No,
just
no,
don't
you're
get
right.
experience, right? You get a lot of gold but not experience, so it's not really representative of the Hawks level or whatever.
Roche number 3 to see what he holds. We click on him, and of course it's a refresher shard. So both teams, of course, going to be eyeing that. Not like the
Huge
Axe
for
plus
Terrorblade,
is any
though.
bad.
I think this is much bigger for the TB, so if he gets this,
Okay,
like,
3
this, you get a
Stampedes in the
double
pit. Is that going to be enough?
I don't know.
Thunder to cover.
Used to protect him.
Mira not stunned up there. The Hawk's going to use that long duration BKB here to try and
RP?
get through the first Roche, but Collapse into the pit. The RP doesn't manage to snatch it in time, and Laura as well is going to be in the pit. So Collapse gets nothing.
Oh,
was expecting at least one there. Toronto Tokyo, they're right clicking through him. They've got the kill onto him as he tries to BKB TP away. Not sure quite how he ended up in that position, but TeamSpirit get it all wrong there.
He walked forward. He really did. Really, really far. I feel like the initiation by Collapse is justified. Right? Getting that perfect RP is really difficult, and it was almost really good. So no beef there. Maybe Toronto Tokyo should have also retreated afterwards. I understood the play though. He thought, I can BKB TP. I have 3.2k HP. There's no way they mow me down in what, 3 seconds? Terribly though.
Maybe, yeah.
And also, even though Demon Zeal is less effective in range, still a thing,
So
right?
good, yeah. I mean, 50 bonus
so
attack speed.
He still
yes,
takes
please.
more damage with that, and obviously the Swift Blink bonus. It's just a bit of a... Terrorblade is not known for being a burst damage hero, quote unquote. Like, he's not the guy like blinks on you and kills you, but between the Swift Blink and the Shard, all of a sudden he kind of fulfills that role a bit. And now you have a Refresher Shard for him. This is looking a bit bad for TeamSpirit.
He's not Drow, you know, where like I died in 3 right clicks, oh no. But he
I don't know what the...
certainly packs a punch.
What they're gonna try to do against this TB. They need to be able to take team fights where they go around the TB, kill the rest of his lineup, and then force the TB 1v1 versus Lina. Because Lina has more range, as you mentioned earlier. She's gonna be able to usually beat the TB, but you gotta kill the support. This Pango is a big nuisance. Notice has been really on point. And his Basher, directly after Blink Dagger, great build.
Agreed. And it's not been so easy for TeamSpirit, right? Because, like I said, they've got the redundant save, especially now with Acceptor here. Pardon me, for Seneko. He's even going to build a Refresher. Wow. Okay, very cool build on Chen. Straight, all business. Immediately into the Acceptor, and then immediately into Refresher. No joking around here. But I think they really struggle because it's not quite a 4 protect 1. It's more like a 3 protect 2-ish, except it's like 3 protect 1, and Lesh, if you die, just get off Yules, right? And he's done a great job at doing that. Kaya and Sanj, of course, for the status resist. Aeon Disc, of course, for his hard dispel. And even now Shiva's guard to both reduce that satanic healing as well as give himself a bit more armor and the vision. Yule's really being the big thing here. He's been constantly able to get off this Yule Scepter time and time again in these team fights. And TeamSpirit, I mean, it's been so difficult for them. It feels like you jump on one hero and 2 others come in to disrupt you and save you. And if you're not jumping TB, all of a sudden he's got all this damage. What do you do?
Yeah. And frankly, I gotta say that even though, again, TSpirit is having some shake initiation sometimes, what I really like is BetBoom is showing some prowess that I was not expecting from them, right? We hyped up their cheats, we hyped up these like fast strats. I know the Hawk, any team he's at, they're really good at playing the 20, 30 minutes of strat, right? And I actually saw some of these guys at Next Generation, they were good at that too. But now we're actually seeing them being consistent towards the late game, making very few mistakes. This is a team of very young people. They're inexperienced as well. It's impressive how much they've improved in like only a year, more or less, since we last saw them.
And yeah, and in TeamSpirit, hold that thought. We might get a little bit of a brawl here. Force Major. Oh no!
Oh, what? That's the Aether Lens, right? I presume.
Yeah, that'd be Aether Lens.
Does that work with Horn Toss?
I mean, silenced him. Oh, right, of course. Yadaro did.
Did it not feel like the Horn Toss like grabbed him really far?
It's got a big horn, man. This Magnus, you know.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe it's a cosmetic, right? He has the 3 horns. It's easier to grab the IO.
Yeah. Oh, it does have 3 horns.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
even
why.
More. It's too many.
Horn Toss buffed.
Big kill there, of course, onto the Wisp. That'll delay things. At least it'll dissuade BB from making any super aggressive plays early on, and it's no need to buy back on your mid lane Lina. Big moves. Yeah, I don't know. I was actually kind of, I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to manifest it, or perhaps it could have been first seed versus AC. This could have been a really easy 2-0. Again, that's why we talked up so much BB at the beginning, because this is a very good team of Dota 2 players.
Yeah.
But yeah, TeamSpirit also kind of a lower bracket team. They went through the lower bracket in the regional finals, and they didn't go to the lower bracket right away in TI, but I believe second round they were knocked down there. So they avoided best of ones. Yeah. But they made a lower bracket run through TI and took down some big names. They took no prisoners in the lower bracket.
That's true. I mean, that's what you have to do, right? In TI, that's the best win. That's the miracle win always.
But maybe they're going to have to do it here. This first round, 3 slots here to the major, so there is kind of that third chance.
We'll see, because the game we don't know yet how the game is going to end up for either of these teams. It's honestly can be for both. And I think also I wanted to mention a lot of. Oh wait, actually I won't mention this now because
Collapse. He's on the run. Plus 1 second RP stun is taken.
Notice how they're actually spreading out and they're fanning out a little bit just to get a bit map control, and now they realize the smartest play once again, go to the triangle.
Was it me, or did that CK illusion literally stun or crit every hit? Oh, they got someone? No,
I was not looking at it. So
it just sounded... He does have the 25 talent, so maybe that's why it's proccing so much. 43.3% chance.
That's ridiculous. Let's break it, though. 43.33 does not feel that clean. I was going to mention that if you watch this game, I think in Pro Dota this happens often, but sometimes it seems like TSpirit is making more mistakes because a lot of the plays at BB are so good that they force these mistakes as well, right? So it's a team looks worse when they're playing against a better team. That's pretty obvious, right? But it's something to keep in mind when you see like TSpirit making sometimes desperate plays. It's more of the position they've been put in by BetBoom more than them just being dumb, right? Like,
of course.
Not the case.
Yeah, no,
I mean, it's obvious, but I like to mention it because I read chat sometimes and it's scary.
Yeah, and it's easy for us to say that with vision and literally a good observer who's able to catch these ultimately what look like mistakes. But, you know, it's because we have all vision. 25 talents taken, by the way, by Lesh. He's taken the plus 30 explosions.
The TV!
Oh, mid lane.
Okay.
RP?
Got the RP now.
Oh, but the hard spell!
Safe on Hand of God. That Ags comes into play.
Oh, no. Now you got to get Seneko on this. How do you do this? Collapse even forced to BKB because Laurel was threatening to Yules him. How do you deal with this?
That's true. How do you deal with this? I don't know. I don't think the horn toss plays are available anymore.
Now you not only have to make sure Wisp doesn't relocate save him, you also have to make sure that Chen is disabled or doesn't have Hand of God. What the heck do you do?
All right. That's really good. Yeah.
And that's a global ability.
I think you're done.
Chen can just like sit in a fountain like silencers. He's not going to get an abandon because it's a captain's mode match, and then you just press R.
Yeah.
Send the creeps in to do your bidding. Stay in the jungle, Seneko.
I feel like if you can fish an IO or you can fish a Chen, that's still worth it, right?
Yes.
And you can probably go for those kills. And I think Pango might be the limit, by the way, where Chen will be doubtful about wanting to use Hand of God in the Pango.
Agreed. Especially if Pango's caught out, they're not saving him. But if it's like TB...
Maybe, who knows? Because the problem I think that would happen is, if they haven't discussed this earlier, the moment of doubt will kill Pango, right? So that's where you play around. So I think Pango is a good target as well. That said, Pango is a hard target to kill. And he has A on disc as well.
Yeah, that he is. I think what they probably think... So very, very hearsay here. But what's likely for BB is they say, okay, Pango, if they catch you, we're going to heal you, and then be ready to roll up Rolling Thunder immediately. We're going to fight off the back of that. They did the blink for you, right? But if he's just caught out, they probably don't save him.
And
anyone else, yeah, they do.
I think there's also the heroes that Seneko, now with this new Chen, Seneko excels at these heroes. Because again, you guys really should check his player perspective sometimes. He's a speed demon. He does not miss anything. Obviously, comms are nice, but I genuinely think Soneko's catching these skewers. And he is not going to miss that Hand of God. He's a very reliable person for that. Always one of his best assets, in my opinion, as a support.
Tense game here, of course. Upper brackets is nice and comfy to be in, especially in the next round. You want to make it at least 2 rounds further, because then you get, I believe, into
losing
that
is bad.
3rd place qualifier. There is kind of a 3rd bracket, but you have to win matches to be able to get that 3rd bracket. The Yule Scepter again from Laurel.
So get punished. There's the RP. We still have the Hand of God potentially, but Aeon Disc triggered first on the Lesh. Okay, they hold
Fear Wave.
Now it's only the Terror Wave on the TP, so he still keeps the meta. So he's just trying to force them out. Nice bushwhack though for
Toronto Tokyo refreshes and BKBs.
Okay.
And it's just going to be a big reset here. No,
wait,
neither team
BKB.
Yeah, Toronto Tokyo refreshed. Yep.
And BKB as well. Oh, wow, so he has no more BKBs left?
Correct.
That's huge, actually.
Yadaro, though, he's been able to clear these waves easily thanks to, of course, something we mentioned once because it's Empower. Everyone knows what it does, but it's super useful now at clearing these TB illusions because, of course, you can't dodge cleaves. And also, it's good for clearing waves. So they've done a good job of making sure that they're not taking too much high ground damage.
Yeah. All right, look at the solution by Collapse. It's like, if I was just faster in my cast animation, I'm going to go for Arcade Blink.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That's a legitimate idea. And there's no Hand of God for 25 seconds. Collapse has refreshed, has an RP, has BKB. Maybe what's stopping them is that the mid laner does not. He lacks the BKB charge. Perhaps with Silver Edge and Satanic alone, they don't think he's ready to fight.
No point in fighting without all your resources when you're in this position, because you know that BB is not going to auto-win if this goes late enough, right? Like, I mean, this is as bad as it's going to get, right? TB is literally out of slots. There's nothing else he can build. So, at this point, why not wait for the perfect situation, right? There's nothing rushing you forward. So I appreciate this by TSpirit.
Exactly. And I think what people are not appreciating, by the way, in this lineup, because yes, it's 16-11 in a 48-minute game, just try and kill one of these BB heroes. How? Yeah. Just try. Well, I mean, you got so much counter initiation, first of all. You've got a hard dispel that affects the entire enemy team whenever Soneko feels like it. Laurel's got an Aeon Disc. Noticed has an Aeon Disc. What do you do?
I love the thought that Soneko is not doing it based on when his teammates get stunned, but just when
it's just when it feels like it.
Right.
Yeah.
The true Chad Soneko.
He's got like a Spidey sense, except for Chen, it's like a God sense. I guess it would be, yeah.
God is speaking to him.
He is a cleric, I forget, yeah. I always think of Omni.
It's literally called Hand of God, right?
Well, I guess actually Omni's a paladin. Here they go. Are they going to try for Yadro? Yeah, they stun him once.
Yeah, but Nightmare save pretty good, actually. Avoids Terror Wave as well, the BKB, but Yadro could still be killed off.
Terror Wave, they push him so far back.
The Phantasm to get rid of Scotty slow, but he's still going to die there. Yadro, huge kill. No buyback on Yadro, by the way.
It pushed him so far back. Collapse couldn't counter-initiate because of how long that Terrorize. Not only did it last forever, I mean 2.5 seconds, but he was so far away. He couldn't get in there to counter-initiate.
You did lose meta for this, but this secures Roshan, so it's actually not that bad. This is
an Ags. It's a fast Rosh.
Who gets the Ags? Honestly, Pango, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
What is it? What else do you have? Like, Wisp Bags is trash, right?
Nihilism, perhaps?
I'm a big fan of the Nihilism, but I have not seen people like it at all.
I haven't seen it either. He's going to go for it. He's going to... Oh, I thought he picked... No, they're going to give it to Notice. Okay.
I got excited for a second.
And he's like, Force Major, get in here. The cheese is yours. Just kidding, it's Laurel's. We don't trust you. No, it's... Oh, they both have a cheese.
Oh,
they didn't stack them.
Stack. Smart.
Yes, well, they do stack, but the cooldowns...
To prevent them from stacking is what I meant to say. To prevent them from stacking. Interesting that the HUD only marks one cheese. But to prevent them from stacking, they keep them on 2 different heroes. Because if they stack, as you said, there's a cooldown. And it's just bad.
What is this? This is a really interesting play. So they scouted Lina's Courier, which has a Divine Rapier on it, by the way. Down bottom, flying near the Radiant Tier 1 tower. And I think they saw it. They're hunting for this Courier.
I'm telling you, this Soneko, dude, you just can't get away with any of these plays with Soneko. If it's on the map, Soneko has seen it.
They've got the ward down.
15 eyes.
They planted a Tinker Ward, and I don't believe TeamSpirit know. Couriers do, of course. I think they drop this Rapier, right?
Yeah, they do when they die. Imagine how OP it would be, right? You just throw the Courier at the creeps.
This is a mistake. Why did he unlock it?
Oh, that's a good point.
This is a, like... I don't know. I just think this is straight a mistake. I don't know how else you call it. And look, he's going to send it right through the Aegis, or right through the ward. I think they picked up on it now. And here comes the Hawk.
Go the Hawk, not the Beastmaster one.
He's gonna cut it off. He's gonna get this. Oh my God! What a blunder! I can't believe it.
Oh wow, you're right. He should have locked it. You're totally right. I didn't think of that. Probably he was clicking really fast. He got a bit nervous, right? Got a bit desperate. Needed the Rapier.
I'm sure.
They just got a free Rapier, dude.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It sucks losing 6,000 gold. I know it's 59.50. It sucks losing that amount of gold for sure on Lina when that item's dead on your Courier for 3.5 minutes. But giving it away for free, you can't risk that. That's a 12K net worth swing.
That is so huge. And now... Yeah, there's no advantage to locking it, right? Just so you're completely right about that.
No, I mean, you lose it, but it's like locking. Right? It's like locking your door at night. Like, yeah, sure, maybe it's a little bit more annoying that you have to unlock it in the morning, but like the risk reward is so.
It happens. It happens.
It happens. It happens. But
I do like the Toronto Tokyo here decided to go for the psychological warfare, seeing as this Raper screwed up. So he's like, "Come, guys, let's see if we can do this." Toronto Tokyo.
I see him too. He's baiting.
We'll see. I'm actually really curious if we get an interview with them, if they do win. I want to know who's got that raid.
I honestly, I didn't check.
No. I mean, who was the one that saw it in the map? You can't check that. Okay. With a Rapier, these towers fall so quickly. Rolling Thunder did get wasted. We have a pressure shot on Pango, however.
This was Terror Wave as well, not meta.
That was Terror Wave, yeah. So you still have meta.
Oh, and he's 25.
And Shard.
He's gone for the plus 20 second metamorphosis duration. So 70 seconds now. Oh, man. I mean, and a refresher shard on this guy from Roche. Doesn't cost any mana to use. Oh, a Wind Waker now on Lesh. And
yep, just in case someone gets caught by the Magnus out. Even with the BKB.
Blink. I mean, it's looking real
collapse.
rough,
Oh,
man,
collapse.
for Spirit.
We still have the Aegis, though. And
you
the
can move
Aeon
yourself
Disc
in Wind
here.
Waker.
Nice
Collapse.
use of the Wind Waker.
Yep. Very good use of Wind Waker.
I mean, just throw illusions at the racks down bottom, honestly.
Yep. And Collapse wasn't going to get him there. It's impossible. Laurel, oh, he got him now. Got him this time.
Though.
Yeah.
And Aegis. Oh, they nicked him with that stun.
There he goes
Once again, that Wind Waker. And
Oh,
Metamorphosis will ensure they take the bottom racks now.
And the top ones will go even faster here, even just the illusions.
Yep. You can honestly just swiftly.
RP.
Oh, he avoided that. That was so on point. And the tip collapsed because they didn't get the Terror Blade. The Hawk. Lightning speed reaction time. What this
BB are cracked right now, man. They are feeling themselves. They're feeling amazing.
My God.
The Hawk's like, I tried to hit you with my cheese, heroes. You make me play real Dota. He's going 100% now in the enemy base. Gets off the BKB, gets off the Satanic. He's winning the duel versus Toronto Tokyo because he has his Rapier. Yotaro can't get through him. He's got way too much damage on this TB. Meta's going to last forever. Good damage onto Laurel, but he's going to avoid it as well thanks to the hardest spell of Hand of God. And now Yatoro, he's going to be finished off. Fiend's Grip, again the refresh there on the Hand of God. They cancel the grip. 3 buybacks from TSpirit, but what do they have left to fight?
Yeah, Magnus goes in again, but he can't do anything. It's his double BKB. The second meta is up as well. This is going to be the win of BB. Ancient is falling. The last attempt by Magnus canceled by the Wind Waker. BB have just done it. They beat the previous TI champions. 8th seed versus 1st seed. MMR is just a number, my friend. BetBoom took it. What a win. What a series by BetBoom. And you're right. Shout out to General. That last game, they were just feeling themselves. What a performance.
Amazing game from BetBoom, honestly. I mean, a super long series. I think this was, 55-minute game 1, 55-minute game 3. Game 2 was a bit shorter, maybe 40 minutes. But, I mean, no shortage of big plays in this map. If I had to think where Spirit went wrong, I don't know. It just never felt like either team really applied the pressure. Both teams pretty happy to just play the farming race. And boom, we're going to win big towards the end. I can't help but think what goes differently. I mean, it's useless. Hindsight 2020, but I can't help what goes differently if that Rapier gets to Toronto Tokyo.
Look, it's one of those things where this will at least fix it so that never happens to you ever again, right? Like you will always lock it from now on. It's like those mistakes are one of those things that the moment that you do it, you realize it. It's not a tactical mistake. It's just like these errors happen. It's not that big it's not that big a deal in the sense that this doesn't mean he's a bad player or anything like that. It's just that learn, move forward, whatever. I think they should just gloss over that and get ready for the lower bracket. That said, if BoomBet was ever feeling themselves, I think this is now incredibly justified because what a performance, honestly. The first game, you can argue, TeamSpirit was just waking up. They played against a cheese draft. Fair enough. There's like some caveat there. This time they played, quote-unquote, real Dota with their style, and they succeeded. What a performance by so many other players. Particularly, though, the Hawk and the supports were just absolutely stellar.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Soneko as well with a fantastic game. Not messing around. I mean, the Ags refresher build, again, this was brown boots, a Ring of Bazzi, and then immediately Ags on chat.
Yes. With a shard in between, right? So
with a shard. Sure, fair enough. Yes.
Yes.
Just amazing.
True Chen.
And guess what? We're actually going to get to hear from someone from BoomBet. So do stick around, guys. We are looking to coordinate an interview as soon as possible. As soon as they calm down, I'm sure they are... I would be incredibly over the moon right now with not only beating TeamSpirit, but in such, just 3 games of Dota, 3 great games of Dota here. So hyped. But yeah, TeamSpirit, they will drop into the lower bracket. They've been here before in Eastern European playoffs, regional finals. They did get knocked down 2-1 as well, actually, by Hellraisers. That first game was 71 minutes. I don't know if you, I did watch the replay. It was a wild one. But they cruised through lower brackets then. They cruised through it in TI. So it's an experienced team. Down, but certainly not out.
Yeah, we'll see what BoomBet has to say after we take a break so we can coordinate an interview, and hopefully we can ask him some questions. I'm very curious.
I belive we're to stay live until
never mind. My bad.
No,
Sorry,
it's okay.
That's true.
It's okay. But
So okay, so let's keep talking about the wonderful BoomBet and their course through this, right? It would suck for TSpirit. Obviously, going to lower bracket is not impossible for them, but it is a difficult situation. I think though that this is not the representative of what BoomBet, or sorry, of what TSpirit can do necessarily. I think against more usual teams, they are not going to struggle as much. Because, again, they got really surprised in that first game against BoomBet. I think if you play like 10 games, maybe Spirit probably wins 6, 7 of them, right? I think they are still the better team. But the problem is, again, small mistakes in this third game, and as well in that first game, the fact that they got surprised by a really BoomBet draft, right? That's why I want to talk to the Hawk, dude. Like, I feel like he is such an impactful hero, and this is why, or impactful player, and this is why I always love commenting on these like weird players who just have these odd pools, who play this very different play style. I think they always throw a wrench in the works of any team, and they're very valuable for the team. And the Hawk plays literally every single hero that's weird except for Meeple. He's an Arc Warden player too. Like, he's just an odd dude, and it's wonderful to watch.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, DeHawk with an incredible series, especially bouncing back after game 2 when he got absolutely demolished. So it was pretty rough, that game for them for sure. BoomBet, I do want to commend as well. Noticed all series long. Really was quite the standout performer, especially in game number 1. At game number 3, again, I just think these all the builds this game for BetBoom were just super efficient, super straight to the points. They knew what they had to do. They knew what their draft was lacking, and it was amazing stuff. They are the better team today. 3-1, 2-1. Sorry.
Indeed, we were capable of getting an interview. It will be an audio-only interview, but still an interview nonetheless. And it's going to be with position 5 here from BoomBet, Soneko. Soneko, can you hear us?
Hello, guys. Hello. How
Hey,
are
Soneko.
you?
Congratulations,
Do you hear
man.
me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we have a couple of, we have many questions actually, but I'm going to start with one of the ones I had
Excuse
for
me,
you.
who are you?
I'm
What's your
Avo,
name?
and then this is Richie, or SeekNStrike, sorry.
Oh, nice to meet you. Okay.
Nice to meet you,
as
Soneko.
well, Soneko. Well played, man. Well played.
So in that last game, I was curious, who scouted out the courier with the rapier?
We all saw this courier,
Okay.
and in the end, we thought it's they just got this courier, but one of us just called. Let's say find it.
Yeah.
Just keep scout, and we just found it, and just and got it.
Yeah.
It's first, and then we just tried to push after it. So, and it was very weird why Lina just showed and died when he has no rapier and probably has no buy, right? After it. Yeah.
If I can ask about your team dynamics, I was curious, who's the drafter for the team, Soneko, or do you just draft together?
We draft together, me and if you know this famous guy, which name is Mak Chipenko, Ukrainian warrior.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. With this guy, we draft.
Okay. Do you take advantage? Do you feel like the Hawks hero pool of like Visage, NP, and stuff is an advantage in the drafts against teams?
Yeah, of course. We know our like our power, like what we need to do, need to pick, and on who we need to focus. And yeah, of course, we know about the Hawks pool and how to use his hero pool. Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of advantages, I wanted to ask, obviously 8th seed versus 1st seed, TSpirit, of course, previous TI winners. Do you think there's an advantage being the underdog in this series, or I'd like to hear your thoughts.
I can say that one thing, we're not scared because we played against them few times, and to be honestly, it was in our side. Like I wouldn't say, it's just we felt like we can win because before it we did it few times. That's what I can say. And as we heard before, like they stopped playing good for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they just chill out too much or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Focusing back on your team, because you guys got organized last season, right, and then got promoted.
Yeah.
But you've been on a couple different teams the past 2 years. How are you feeling on this team, and how is the team feeling, especially after this win?
After this win, is it?
Yes, after this, yes.
Oh, to be honest, I'm just very happy to play with these boys because we got 3 young players who is less than 20 years old, and
Yep.
they're like best friends, something like that. They have some chemistry between them, and they played before, and I don't know, they all funny, we funny, and then it's it works. Yeah, that's how it works probably. Yeah, we just not getting tilt. We just trying to analyze and then work on our mistakes. Yeah, and many works does the hack, I would say, because he's like a real tryhard.
Yeah, we can tell.
Yeah.
He can if you forgot, like for example, I can forget about timing rush. I
Yep.
just ask and he will always have it. Never had situation when he didn't have rush timing.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So do you and the Hawk act as the experienced voices in the team? Do you teach the young ones a bit of a like, in
Yeah,
moments of tension
it's
and stuff?
we do a lot of work. I don't know. I'm just talking a lot, probably, but yeah, we just together trying to to teach them every time. Like watch replays, just share with some our experience for a long time when we played on other teams. Yeah, and also our coach who is back helping us a lot.
Okay.
So Nico, if I could just ask, I mean, you've just taken down the #1 team. I would have loved to ask you this question before the match, but I'm sure the answer would have been the same. What are your expectations for you and the team during this qualifier event?
Can you repeat?
What are the team's expectations? Do you even have expectations as far as how your performance is as a team?
We want to qualify for start, and then I don't know, just do our best. We feel that we can play better than right now. It's 100%. But
Okay.
for getting just this shape, this like a good shape, like better than X2, we need to just win to get this confidence. Like we can win any teams or something like that. And it will help us to be better and better if we just qualify on Stockholm majors.
Right. So Nico, as we close the interview, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? Any shout outs to your social media, perhaps?
Actually, just I want to say thank you to BetBoom, who just who how to say the
Sponsor?
the sponsor does. My English is super bad, but yeah,
No, it's
the
You're doing
great.
great.
sponsor
No,
does.
you're doing great.
They actually helped us when it was like unreal to find some organizations, because like what's happening in the world. So yeah, they helping us. I don't know. It's incredible, have to say. But they're helping a lot. And
Nice.
also thank you to all fans, if we have yeah. And
I would.
yeah, and guys, good night. What can I say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
Just
night,
have
Soneko,
have a nice day tomorrow. Something
Yes, you
like
too,
that.
Soneko.
You too, man. You
Congratulations
too.
again. Good
Yeah,
luck in the
enjoy.
rest
I'm
of
sure
See you
you're gonna
the
guys.
sleep
Yes.
playoffs.
well. Upper bracket, man. GG, well played.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah. So Nico really asks as well. He says, if we have any fans, I think after this game, if you don't have any, it's people don't have eyes. That's just my take because they played
Agreed.
really good, and I think their confidence, man, is it's nice. Like we talk about these Eastern European personalities. I think with the new generation, what I also like is that a couple of these personalities that were a bit thwarted, they're getting new opportunities with this new generation of teams, and they're just looking good. And you're starting to see who are the hard workers that were just passed by sometimes, right? And I think the Hawk and Soneko were those people that a lot of people spoke praise about them, but they have some issues in terms of like sometimes you get kicked from teams, there's internal drama, whatever happens, and now they get with these new teams and they showcase that they're still top tier players. It's really wonderful to see.
And I wanted to talk about that because he did briefly mention the 3 players that played together. He is, of course, referring to Laurel, Noticed, and their old carry. Who am I forgetting? Force Major. They played together on a Next Generation, Team Generation, then on Prodigy, and now on their current roster. And even back in Division 2 for the very first DPC season when Avo and I were in the van, we casted this team, placed 7th. Highly skilled players, just lack the consistency. Yeah. Having those veterans with the Hawk played on international teams, Soneko played on many international teams. I don't mean flame by that, but it's a lot of experience that he's able to bring in, right?
Exactly.
And it was just great. It was just great to see them. And yeah, I mean, they're going to be moving on to the upper brackets.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And the upper bracket, I mean, this continues, of course, tomorrow, which is what we're going to check out now, as we can see some of the matches that are going to be featured tomorrow. We're not done with the first round of the upper bracket. We're actually going to start with that tomorrow. It's going to be PuckChamp versus Mind Games. We're also going to have the lower bracket match, the lower bracket match of TSpirit Hellraisers, and also, no, sorry, we continue with the upper bracket tomorrow. It's PuckChamp Mind Games that we continue with. My bad. It's BetBoom versus Navi. I couldn't believe it's BetBoom. Sorry, the logo kills me. And then finally, the winner of PuckChamp versus Mind Games will play against the Outsiders. And if you continue watching this channel, you should follow us, because if you follow us, you get to watch the future matches of TSpirit, who is going to be fighting for their life against Hellraisers, a team that's also been looking really good recently as well. So it's a genuine difficult one.
And not like I need to hype up that match anymore, but Hellraisers have proven to be the crux to TSpirit previously. They did 2-0 them, 2-1 them, pardon me, in the regional finals, but when they met in the lowers, it was a different story. TSpirit did get them there. You know, it was funny earlier. I was going to say if TSpirit won, they'd have avoided that matchup, but they're going to find themselves immediately in the lower bracket with that matchup. And just one thing I'd like to say, Avo, before we close, is that I think it's obviously it's great, and I hope a lot of people become fans of this BetBoom team. Pardon me, after this fantastic game, because they're very talented. They've got some big names, and I think they're going to go far. But the other side of the coin is, I hope that people don't all of a sudden become haters of Spirit. It's super easy to do. I see it all the time, and I think it's a pitfall that way too many Dota fans fall into. I think it's just like unnecessary negativity. Sure, there are things that can be fixed, but guess what? That's why there's a lower bracket, and that's why this team is still going to go on and play some more Dota for you guys tomorrow.
Also, a true fan is the one that shows love when they lose, not when they win. It's easy to be a fair weather fan, right? So don't be a fair weather fan. Nobody likes those, honestly, and you'll be called out for it, right? With that said, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast today, guys. We hope you enjoyed the Eastern European Dota, and we hope to see you tomorrow for some more. Remember to follow the channel and also follow me on the site on Twitter to see all the updates and all the highlights for these matches, so you can continue to stay tuned with this Eastern European special qualifier. See you guys tomorrow.